Well, welcome race fans, and welcome Ken.
Good evening, Jack. It's good to be back in the broadcast booth after what seems to have been a very long hiatus for us between seasons, no?
Absolutely, and another season's going to start. Lots of drama, lots of competition out there. All sorts of new players, new racers online with us.
Yeah, you're certainly right about the drama. We have seen some drama unfold both in GT2 and GT1, but I am so looking forward to a very exciting season of GT1 racing and being up here in the broadcast booth with you and some of the racers, some of the great things that we have planned for this season. I can't wait to see it all unfold.
Yeah, it's going to be intense again. We got 12 races. Of course, tonight is Super Pole night. Lots of pressure here.
Yep, tonight is Super Pole qualifying, and for those of you that are watching by television, not familiar with the Super Pole process, essentially what it is, each racer will get an opportunity to go out on an out lap, and they get one timed lap. It's a one-shot deal. You get to go around the track as fast as you can for one lap, and that will decide your qualifying position. First and second place, pole and second, will lock in their positions. Everybody else will duke it out in a 30-minute qualifying race after Super Pole tonight.
So, what do you think of the venue?
Well, Suzuka International Circuit. This circuit has been around for a very, very long time. Has gone through, I think, 3 iterations of the circuit, with the latest changes being made in 2005. It's an 18-turn course. It's 3.6 miles long, or 5.8 kilometers. And some of the highlights of the Suzuka circuit: fast sweeping turn 1. This should allow for cleaner starts for the most part, I believe. That's just an opinion, of course. Things sometimes turn out a little bit different here at NAGP. But turns 3 and 7, turns 3 through 7, which are your rhythm section, these are the S curves. Opportunity there if it's overtaking, especially if one of these guys, these high-powered GT1 cars, take one of those S's a little wide, will allow somebody who's paying close attention to slip on by. So certainly an area that we want to keep an eye on. And turn 11, which is the technical hairpin, you have to watch the entry after turn 10, simply because you're coming in so hot. After the Degner curve, turn 9, you get on the throttle really quick, and turn 10 is nothing more than just a little blip in the steering wheel. Can certainly throw the tail end of the car a little bit happy, so certainly an area to watch, and also an opportunity to overtake there. Those that are not careful or not paying attention will end up in the kitty litter and giving up some positions. And of course, we have the long back straight. It allows these GT1 cars to really stretch their legs. And during practice, I was watching some of these guys get up to about 170 miles an hour before the dog leg, and that's just incredible. And that's pretty much it. Then you got your 16, 17, and 18 casino triangle, or what's known as the chicane. That's a very technical area, and those not paying attention, as I saw Chris Moses make a post in the forum, if you overshoot that chicane, you gotta turn back around and go around the curbs, because they will not count your lap if you continue on.
Well, very well put, and a great explanation of what we got out there. So we got David Rowley coming out first for Super Pole. Maybe sandbagging it a little bit, because Rowley is a pretty speedy driver.
Yeah, David Rowley, not sure that he put in a practice lap, and if he did, certainly he did not put the best in. I know that I was watching him during practice. Seems like he was struggling a little bit with the Mosler MC12. This is a very powerful car, mid-engine car, and if not set up correctly, can give you all sorts of trouble. But having said that, watching David Rowley going around these turns right now, he seems to have gotten a little bit of a handle on the car.
Yeah, David's driving out of England and not able to make all the races last year. He only got 4 races in GT1 in, but Definitely one of the great competitors we have at NAGP here.
Yeah, I think NAGP is putting together a collection. We want to get him a functional alarm clock that will not fail so he can make all of the GT1 races this season.
Well, I think half of the people in the league have David's phone number, so they won't let him sleep in. Struggling with that Maserati there. And coming around, he is going to set the provisional pole, being the first one out.
So yeah, some of the lap times that we were watching here during practice, early practice, way before the broadcast came on, looks like being that the temperatures were higher up, some of the drivers tonight were struggling with tire choice, and we saw.
Whoa! And Rally puts the big 2 donuts. But you know, we had talked about this before, Ken. You know, and good on him. He's got to put that lap in because he does not want to start dead last there. And I wouldn't have expected him to get into trouble there.
No, that dogleg sweep there is a bit of a pain point for some of the drivers. Again, they're coming in hot at about 170 miles an hour. They have to drop 2 gears into fourth. Typically, they will drop 2 gears into fourth, and that at times can just kick the tail end out on you.
Well, yeah, he was coming in real hot into that corner there and just couldn't keep it on track. But that is going to drop him in the 203 range, which is not going to make it very far up the starting order tonight. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, 203 is roughly about 8 to 9 seconds off what we're expecting to be the fast pace here. I was starting to say before David Rowley had spun there was that during practice I think we saw some 155s, and some of the folks, surprisingly, who in the past have dipped down into the 154s, were having a bit of a trouble doing that here today. And again, the temperatures were starting to soar, so I think they were struggling with the tire choice and maybe some damper and spring choices. But this is Super Pole qualifying, so you never know what to expect here.
No, you know, some of the drivers do very well. Others succumb to the pressure. I'm one of them. I just cannot get out there and lay it down in one lap. You've really got to be on your game and nail every corner, because some of the top drivers will do just that.
Well, Jack, as you know, I survived my first Super Pole qualifying just this past Monday for the GT2 series, and I have to say it was very nerve-wracking. But overall, I'd have to say just keeping the focus helped me to.
Whoa! And Sam spun there at the chicane. Didn't do a full loop,
yeah.
But that is not going to be good. Sam Rolfe won half of Rolfe Sport Racing along with John Sportelli. So, a 2-minute flat. Now, out on track.
So that puts
Aaron.
Sam in a provisional pole.
Yes, but out on track is the wonder from down under, Aaron Parsons, in the McLaren F1. I think he is going to lay down a smoker.
Of an interesting note tonight, Jack, just looking at these cars on their hot laps, on their timed laps, looks like they're sliding around a lot. So I can't help to think that this 90-degree track temperature has something to do with it, especially if some of the guys are selecting softs for their hot laps. During their out lap, I don't think they want to push it way too much and put too much heat in the tires. You want to save the good heat for your timed lap.
Now, well, if anyone is a master at doing this, it'll be Mr. Parsons. So he's coming up to the sector split here, and let's see where he falls in. But you know, then again, some of these top drivers, they like sliding these cars around. I just can't drive it that way.
Yeah, neither I. I'd like to have a lot of traction. I like the car to have tons of grip.
Well, he's about 3 seconds up into that sector split. Into the chicane.
I'm anticipating a 156 here, somewhere in the 156s, unless he pushes it real hard here, coming down the front sweeper, and manages into the 155s. But
well, he got through the chicane pretty tidy.
Here. Whoa, 154.
And right behind him now on his lap is teammate Gregory Myers, Mr. Smooth. I just love the way this guy drives.
Parsons with the provisional pole at 154.280, smoking hot.
Well, I do think we're going to see some 153s. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I can tell you now, season 15, David Canavan, he set the pole position with a 154 flat, and 2 seasons later, Brad Maris matched that with a 154 flat. So those are your record laps right now on this circuit.
Yep, and you know what? Those two drivers, that's benchmark stuff. Greg having trouble keeping a handle on it. But he's not too far off. He's about a half second off. Locks her up a little bit.
Yeah, this hairpin is certainly an area where some of these drivers should take advantage to make up time. You want your entry to be just right. Nail that hairpin. Get on the throttle as soon as you can to get out of it, and you can make up anywhere between a half to 6/10 on a lap.
Well, Greg coming up to the sector split here on the back straight.
Slid a little wide coming out of turn 14 on the spoon curve.
Just under a second over, so Greg going to be in the 55s. Whoa, a little overcook it, trying to get onto the power. Whoa, it lost a lot of time in that last sector.
Well, good enough for P2 right now, 156.811. Mr. Andrew Werner out on track now.
Andrew, I think he's in the big Aston Martin.
He is in the Aston Martin. Coming up to the first sector split.
And he's teamed up with David Pohl in 05 Motorsport.
About 700ths off the pole pace right now for Andrew Werner as he rounds the hairpin.
You know, these guys have to be spot on every corner for just one lap. Really hard to nail everyone. Well, he's very tidy coming through that those two corners.
Yeah, that's turns 8 and 9, the Degner curve. So came through the dog leg really nice too. I have to see where he finishes.
Very close on those curves to a cut.
I'm thinking a 155 or a 156 perhaps.
It's looking good.
So that moves Werner into P2 with a 155.5.
And
490.
Out on track is Big Al, the boss Merriman. For those of you who don't know, Al Merriman runs NAGP around here. Runs a pretty tight ship. Other than he lets us two on Thursday nights, I don't know how we slipped by that. Got that by the admins, but got a big thanks for Al for all the work he does here at NAGP. Gives us a place to play every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Many thanks to all the hard work that Al has put in, along with some of the other folks here around here at NAGP. It's certainly a team effort, and the quality shows week after week.
Oh, you mean the quality shows? Yeah, we put on a quality show week after week, folks. So tune in Thursday nights. It is definitely a quality show. Well, we got to call it how it is. Hey, come on, Ken. You know, there's only one other broadcast team that's any better than us in all of this.
I have to agree with you, Jack. We are a close second, though.
Very close second, I would say, Ken. Very close. Big Al getting the power down on what is that? A 575 or a 550?
That is the 550 Maranello. He just came out of the spoon curve, sliding a little bit. His motor's starting to smoke. Now, Al Merriman was putting down some hot laps earlier. I think it was yesterday. I got an opportunity to catch him as he comes into the Casino Triangle now. This is where these guys are losing so much time because they're coming in so hot. Al slides a little bit, but he gets out of it without spinning. And down the front straight, we'll have to see where he comes in now.
Well, he definitely isn't going to have much motor left because he is blowing smoke like crazy.
With a 156, that's P3, provisionally in P3.
Well, good for Al. Out on track now is David Pohl, the other half of 05 Motorsports.
Yep, the other, the senior member of 05 Motorsports, driving the Aston Martin as well. I was watching David Pohl during practice, and I have to say that he was one of the fast movers around this track. And again, one strong area, one strong part of the track where I saw David Pohl was excelling was right through here, right through the rhythm section, the S-curves.
Yeah, you know, these S-curves, I find them to be a ton of fun. This whole first sector of this track is a great track. It's got a great rhythm to it, I think, and it's a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, the designers, the engineers really knew what they were doing when they designed this track.
Boy, he really came in hot, but took advantage of the braking there in that hairpin.
Coming up to the spoon curve now. Another area where some of the folks will either make up time or lose time. This is it seems simple enough, but it is more technical because it is a closing radius turn coming out of 14.
Yeah, when you get it right, it's great, and when you don't, it's not. And he is right on pace to challenge for pole.
I think that the Casino Triangle is what's going to either make it or break it for David Pohl right now.
Fairly tidy coming through there.
With no problem. Yeah, no problems. And he is going across the line with a 154.837, provisionally in P2.
So now out, starting his hot lap, the pit wizard himself, Chris Moses. Another big shout out to Chris, doing a lot of the admin work to. Boy, I don't know how this guy does it week after week. He gets us all in order, gets us all sitting down for a driver's meeting, gets the servers all set up, and gets us out racing, and then goes out there and smokes most of the field. So good on Chris.
Chris Moses is Al Merriman's teammate here, PMR Motorsports, PMR Racing. And as Jack said, Chris certainly one of the hard workers here at NAGP, and we certainly want to thank Chris for all of the work that he puts in. week after week and season after season here at NAGP.
Chris Moses, 190 GT1 races, 28 wins. He's got almost a 15% win average. He has 100 top 5s, 161 top 10s, and an 8% DNF average. This is one heck of a driver, folks. And he is fun to watch.
Very
too, Ken.
dedicated.
He just loves sliding those cars around, and he has no qualms now of getting that rad closed down because he is smoking up a storm out there.
Yeah, and you know, you will see that from most of the fast guys. They're about a half a lap into their run. Their engines will start smoking, and they're definitely closing those radiators to get the most that they can out of those engines.
Well, he's down just over a half a second, but again, there's another. He is very good at these chicanes, so he come through that tight. He's going to be very close. He might not take pole, but he may be in about second. P4.
155.5 for P4.
Out starting his hot lap is John Wathen in the Nissan.
Driving the Sumo Power Nissan GTR. So I was also watching John Wathen during practice, and one thing I saw was that they seem to be struggling just a little bit with the tail end of the Nissan GTR. They haven't come to grips with it yet. However, if you alter your driving style just a little bit, John, you can make that work in your favor. Certainly can make it work in your favor.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what kind of a wing setup he's got on that, because I know when the French Connection, Lauren Weisman and his partner ran the Nissan, they ran with basically no wing on it, but maybe Wathen and Joliker are trying to do the same.
Be interesting to know. He's about 1.4 seconds down on pole pace right now. Big slide through the hairpin turn 11.
And he's at a disadvantage. I don't know if you can see that, but he's driving on the wrong side of the car.
I think that's a matter of opinion. That's debatable.
It sure is. I'm only being silly up here, folks.
Big push. Big push coming out of the spoon curve as he had his wheel cranked all the way to the left. It's going to be interesting to see how he can get through this dog leg. 2.2 seconds off the pole pace. He had to let off a lot on the accelerator there.
Didn't mind jumping the curbs there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those that like to get real close on the curbs have to be very careful. 156 for John Wathen P7 right now. But those chicane curbs, you can get penalized by the game, and it'll disqualify your timed lap. So you got to be careful coming through those chicanes there.
Yep, just a little heads up to folks. The P1 and P2 in this Super Pole qualifying session will lock themselves in, and no matter where they finish in the half-hour feature race tonight, they will start the main feature in P1 and 2. Out on track, Liquid Lou Masciarelli driving that Porsche Carrera.
Yep,
great looking car.
Yeah, awesome looking car. GT1 also happens to be one of the hardest handling, at least in real life they are. That's what I heard. But here at NAGP, these GT1 cars are pretty trick, and they stick to the tarmac. But love this Porsche, love the way it looks, love the way it sounds, and it handles pretty well too.
Yeah, I know Lou and his teammate Jared are going to try and put in a real concerted effort in GT1 this year, and have no doubt we're going to watch Lou get better and better as the season goes on. A couple seconds off the pace on that sector split.
I certainly hope so.
But very respectable.
2.2 as he comes out of the hairpin now and going into the long sweeper of turn 12. And again, coming into the spoon curve, you know, it's an open radius entry, and then the radius of the turn closes as you're exiting, and that's why most of the folks here have to drop into the second gear so they don't slide off the track and into the grass.
Yeah, and you definitely want to carry that speed out of that corner, that second half of that combination, because that's a fairly long straight bit you've got there, and it's really critical to have that speed going down. Into the chicane, and locks it up, gets in a little hot, but manages to save it, pull it out.
A 159.8 for P8.
Well, good on Lou, because that was much better than some of his practice laps earlier. Out on track, Steve Mongrain. One half of the brother team here. We've got a team of brothers.
Yes, we do. BS Racing. Brian and Steve Mongrain. So Steve Mongrain out on track right now, driving the big Ford GT1. Very quick car. Not as nimble as some of the imports are, but this thing has tons of torque. Heaps of torque.
Yeah, some serious grunt here in the Ford GTs. I have never been able to come to grips with them. I had to bail on a Ford GT one season in GT2. I just could not get a grip on the car.
Through the hairpin right now.
I think it's a great sounding car, though.
Into the spoon curves, turns 13 and 14, and here he wants to peg it as early as possible, and it appears that he does. I've had the good fortune to catch the Mongrain brothers doing a lot of practice before the draft, and they were trying out just about every car they can get their hands on. It's about 2.1 seconds above the pole pace right now.
Yep, not quite as nimble coming through the chicane there.
No, the left-right transitions. It finishes with a 1.575 for P8. These cars don't transition left to right as nimbly as some of the other cars, but yeah, it got to take somebody to really just want to throw that car around to be fast in it.
Out on track, Paul Hall in the Pagani Zonda.
Yep, Paul Hall is teamed up with John Ludden with Broken Wheel Racing, and this is their second season racing together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Paul got 8 races in last season. Did really well. He had 3 DNFs. So, you know, I'm looking for Paul to do a lot better this year as well. You know, he's broken into the league last year. Now it's time to settle down. He knows the rest of the drivers, knows the styles. So we'll be looking for Paul Hall to move up in the standings this year.
That, as well as gaining some of that setup knowledge from his partner, John Ludden, who happens to be one of the great qualifiers here at NAGP. John Ludden certainly fast during qualifying, laid down the hot laps with no problems whatsoever. And watching him a little bit earlier, he was laying them down.
Yeah, it's a great pairing here for the two of them, and Paul's going to really benefit from the expertise that Ludden is going to throw into that team. Paul's smoking his motor as well.
He's He's about 3.5 seconds off the pace of the pole sitter right now. As he downshifts into the chicane. And Paul Hall will come across the start-finish line and finish with a time of 1:59.623 for P9, provisionally.
So, Parsons and Pohl hanging on to 1-2 so far. Oh, but here's one of my favorite drivers.
You know, we talk about the possibility of seeing 153s here tonight, Jack, and I'm just looking at the track temperature, 104 degrees. This has certainly got to be killing some of those tires out there because it is just really hot. Even for a hot lap, even for just an out lap and a hot lap, you can certainly scrub those tires in a little bit too much if you're not too careful.
Absolutely. Out on track now with Juan Monroy. As I mentioned, he's one of my favorite drivers. Competed in all 10 races last season. He had 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. His best start is 2nd. His best finish is 5th. Boy, you know, I cannot wait to see Juan up on the podium.
I have to agree with you, Jack. Juan Monroy, one of our most consistent drivers here, consistently up towards the front, hasn't had his break yet, but I'm sure that it's going to be coming soon. Sure that Juan Monroy is going to get a good race put together, and he's just going to forge on ahead and finish within the top 3. So we're looking forward to that. As he exits the Spoon Curve, turn 14, down the back straight.
Yeah, you know, as talented as this guy is, you know, he's got 95 all-time GT1 races in. He's probably wondering, what have I got to do to win one of these things? But he is in the hunt for a podium just about in every race.
That he certainly is. And like, you know, just like I said, consistently up towards the front. So we certainly want to see Juan Monroy with his first podium. Crosses the line with a 156.2 for P6 provisionally at this time.
Yeah, I think what killed him there was the chicane at the end. Just didn't get through that very cleanly at all, but the rest of the lap was very nice and tidy, so he's probably not going to be too happy with that.
So we have Mr. Speedy himself out on track right now.
Yes, we do. Fairly new to NAGP. Mind you,
yes,
John,
I believe John Ludding came to us
last season.
Sorry,
probably. But he did, surprisingly. He put in all 10 races last year. Had 3 top 5s and 8 top 10s. So, boy, he made his presence known immediately.
Comes through the Denker curve awfully quick. And he's setting new pole right now.
He is. He is.
94. Yeah. Less than 100th of a second off the pace right now. Paul Hall came to us from Gamers Crib, if I remember Alex White saying correctly. He was one of the fast guys over at Gamers Crib, looking for a league to race in. Found NAGP, and here he is.
Well, I hope he wasn't one of the slow guys over there at Gamers Crib, or they can just stay over there at Gamers Crib, because holy jumping, this guy is speedy. Wow. He's a quarter of a second into pole now.
And here is going to be the telltale into the casino triangle. How he takes this and comes out of it will determine, and he is clean.
Really nice.
I see a new pole time being set here. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
154.211. New pole time.
Wow, not by much, but he does have it.
No, not at all. By about 7/1000ths of a second. Wow, that's sorry, 7/100ths of a second. So that's really close.
Out on track now, Sergio Calderon. Sergio also put in a full season last year with 10 races. He only had one DNF. His best start was 14th, and his best finish was 11th. So he'll be looking to try and push his way up into the top 10 this season.
Well, if Sergio's history proves anything, it proves that he can score some points for the team. So that's an asset in and of itself. And he's consistent. Another consistent driver here at Sergio Calderon. Oh, huge cut.
Big cut there. Keep going, Sergio, but you may end up at the back there. Now, he has got a great teammate to run with this year, so you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see Sergio get up and make some huge gains this year running with Juan Monroy.
You're absolutely right. SJRT Columbia team. So certainly going to be looking for some good things coming from Sergio and Juan.
Yeah, it is going to be a heartbreaker if he gets a great lap in here and isn't able to capitalize on it. But he's off by a few seconds.
Yeah, he's about 3.5 seconds off pole pace right now. Not sure if he realizes the cut.
And another one. I think he might.
Yeah. $159.1 for P11. And that's provisionally, folks.
Out on track now, we've got John Houston. Now, John only had 3 races in here last season at GT1.
Yep, he spent a good amount of time covering the broadcasts, actually. He's another one of our broadcasters here.
Yes, he is, and did a mighty fine job filling in during the holiday season. That was great on John. His best start was 18th, and his best finish was 14th. Not bad for 3 races. Big slide.
John Houston driving the Koenigsegg. This is one car that I've always had such a hard time getting a handle on. It's so powerful, yet maybe perhaps a little bit too nimble for my own driving style.
Well, I really liked the GT2 model. I've never really had a chance to get out in the GT1 model. But John is racing with Bjorn Heyman. Welcome back, Bjorn, known up on the forum as the Trickster. So, been away for a couple of seasons, but back in the fold with NAGP. You guys just can't stay away too long.
You know, and it's ironic that you mentioned that, Jack, because this season we've set a record, I believe, with GT1. We have 19 registered teams. So that's what is that? 36 drivers, 38 drivers?
Yeah, it's the fields are huge, but don't be put off, guys. You know, the mantra that Al has around here is we're never going to turn guys away. So if you want to come out and race, come on out. We're going to do our best to get you on track.
156.340 for P8.
Good lap by John. Coming around to start his hot lap, Johnny McIntyre. I love the paint scheme on this car.
Yellow always looks good on a McLaren. So GM Racing, Gup Douglas and John McIntyre racing the McLaren F1s this season.
I could never get a handle on these McLarens. just could never figure them out. Didn't even bother with more than a couple of laps either in the GT2 or GT1 cars. Just couldn't get them around the track.
Certainly love the way the way this car looks, though.
About 1.3 off on that sector split.
Locks up the brakes going into the hairpin, but he's fast out of it.
He sure was. That was tidy coming out. And as you've mentioned, this next combination is so nice when you get it, but so tricky. It's way trickier than it looks.
It is. You know, we run forced cockpit view here at NAGP, so the cars sit low to the pavement, and coming out of the spoon curve, your visibility of the curbing is limited, and it makes it a bit of a challenge.
Into the chicane. Nice and tidy there for John as well.
A 157.385 provisionally puts him in P11.
Currently out on track, Andre Cole. Andre put in a full season last year. Had 3 top 10s. Best start was 10th, and his best finish was 7th.
Very nice. So Andres Cole, H&C Racing, and his partner is Rich Roman, who I saw putting down some very, very fast hot laps out here during practice earlier this afternoon. So I'm hoping that they perhaps stood in the paddock together. Oh, takes it into the kitty litter. That's going to hurt his time.
Oh, extremely. It's going to cost him big. Now, while we've got Andre going around, Ken, why don't you go up there and grab that Rich Roman and bring him down? I want to chat with that guy for a second.
Sounds like a plan. Let me get him in here right now.
Rich Roman.
Rich Roman, Broadcast Racing.
Hey, boys.
Well, is your plan working out there, Rich, or are you going out when you want to?
No. This is terrible. The temperature is just skyrocketed, and now I'm wishing I would have went out real early, like Moses in the pool and all that. But no, we'll see what I have. The only thing that can help me now is that it keeps going up and hurts some of the guys towards the end there.
Well, we know you're going to put down some good competitive time, so good luck out there, and you have fun.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I'll drop you back into Thursday, is it right?
Open challenge.
Okay.
Well, out on track now, we have got Gup Douglas. Also in the McLaren F1. Johnny Mac's partner, Gup, a long time resident here at NAGP. Gup put in a full season last year, a full 10 race season. Best start was 14th and his best finish was 12th.
Not too bad. Again, someone whom you can count on getting some points for the team, and certainly one of our more his attendance in races. You're always seeing Gup just about every race that I've ever raced here at NAGP. He's always around, so
Yeah, he had
consistent.
he had some unfortunate races last season. He had 4 DNFs, but typically Gup is there from the start to the finish, and as you said, for every race. So I love seeing Gup out on the track, seeing him compete. A little wide on that last corner.
Just a wee bit. And, you know, while we're here talking about some of our longtime residents and folks that have contributed to NAGP, just want to send a quick shout out to Christian Hamilton. We know that Christian unfortunately had a loss in his family. So, Christian, we just want to let you know that our prayers and our thoughts are with you. We send our condolences. And, of course, if there's anything that we can do to help, certainly would appreciate you letting us know.
Absolutely. You know, it's like a family here at NAGP. Gup losing it there in the chicane.
Yep, just saw that. That's going to cost him about 2 seconds, and he ends up with a 158.5 provisionally in P13.
On track now to start his hot lap is Krishna Khalili.
Yep, and his partner is not too far behind, just getting out on track as well. So it'll be interesting to see these boys go back to back.
You know what? Krishna ran 4 races last year. His best start was 17th. His best finish was 16th, just in the points. Unfortunately, he only finished two of those races. So, not bad for your 2 races, Krishnik. You were in the points for half of the ones you finished. So, Krishnik racing out of Albania.
Yep, yes indeed. Kreshnik is a great competitor here. He loves racing, puts in his best effort week after week. Just this past Monday at Interlagos, I remember you and I were trying to hunt him down in the closing laps of our 30-minute qualifying race, and he was just like a mouse, man. He slipped away.
Well, let's put him on notice. We're going to be starting right behind you, Kreshnik, so you've got some Viper power coming up on you on Monday night.
That's right.
Coming up to the split here, let's see how he's doing. Now, Kreshnik's teamed up with Marco, and that is going to be a time zone issue for these two guys.
Oh, yeah. Albania to California. So he's almost 3 seconds off the pace of Paul right now, but coming into the chicane, hopefully he can make up some of that time as he locks up the right rears. And he does a 157.339 for provisional P11. So he did make up some time, because typically that would have put him around the 158, 159 at the time that he had the second split.
And our literary expert out on track, Marco Conti.
Yeah, Marco is one of our animated drivers here at NAGP. He's a lot of fun to read in the forums, doesn't hold back much, and can comment on just about any type of racing situation you can imagine. And
I'm really looking I'm really looking forward to his posts this season. They're a big part of the season for me, Ken, is to read Marco's write-ups after the races. They make me chuckle. They're very entertaining, and boy, I hope he keeps it up.
Yeah, as do I. In the first split, he's about 1.3 seconds behind as he comes into the chicane now. Gets out cleanly.
Yeah, they must like this car they've got too.
Oh, slides it around the spoon curve.
Yeah, that is going to cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, I would imagine it would. put him nearly a second, nearly a second down from his first sprint time. But again, this chicane is a great area where to make up time if you can make it through cleanly and quickly. Looks like Marco Cani coming down to the start-finish line right now will cross with a final time of 157.226, so that provisionally puts him in P11.
All right, and out on track is Rich Roman. You know, if this guy can lay it down like I saw him do earlier in early week practice and early tonight, we're looking for a close to pole time here.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Again, he was really quick during practice, and we heard him say that the track temperature soaring right now is hurting a lot of the guys, and we ourselves experienced that at Interlagos just this past Monday. So we certainly can empathize with what they're experiencing out there. All we could say is, Rich, hang in there and keep the throttle pegged as much as you can.
Whoa, big slide there.
Yeah, I think one of the rear tires may have caught a curb there, just pushed him out a little bit too much. But he goes through the chicane, I'm sorry, through the hairpin really quick. He's out of there.
Yeah, those hot temperatures must be making those soft tires a little greasy. Little bit of a bobble as he was coming off that complex corner there.
Down the back straight and now into the dog leg. He's about 1.4 seconds off the pace. Don't know if he's going to be able to make up much more time here through the chicane, as the pole sitters and those further up the line have come through here quick and clean, just as well as anybody else could.
I don't know. He came through that chicane pretty tidy.
And still
P6
puts in a 155.7. Yeah, for P6, not bad.
Well, it's definitely not where he wanted to be, because I saw him with a lot better times than those. But P6 in this crowd's not bad. But there still is a lot of players to still come up.
There are. There certainly are. Let's take a look at what the grid looks like right now. And yeah, we still have quite a few left to go.
Well, we've got Schleif, Maris, White, Canavan, Sportelli, Pareto, Ian Jolicoeur. Marty, Salem, Mike, Brian Mongrain. Holy jumping. Yes, sir.
I think we're going to go and get some opinions on what's going on out there. Just give me 1 second so I can bring them down here. Hey, Alex White, Broadcast Racing, do you copy?
Yeah, hello.
Well,
so, Alex. Go ahead, Jack.
Alex, temperatures concerning?
Yeah, they are a bit. Like, might have to go with mediums on the rear if it gets any hotter. Like, Ez's and John's lap times are pretty decent.
Yeah, Rich Roman mentioned the same thing, that he thought the temperatures were getting a little too high and it's not working in his favor.
Yeah, he had a mess under the bridge.
Yes, he did.
Unfortunate, but yeah, the Celine is a lot hotter on its rear tires than the C6 is, so it's a thing to bear in mind.
Well, we know you're going to come out and lay one down.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Best.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we know that we still have some fast guys coming up, so we just want to wish you the best for your Super Pole qualifying, and no pressure. Everybody's watching. It's okay.
Yeah, it's only 37 guys in here, plus whoever is watching the broadcast.
We have 17,000 viewers tonight.
Ugh, that's less than last week then.
Yeah, just a few hundred less.
Few hundred less.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright.
Cheers, guys.
Well, we want to wish you the best again. I'll go ahead and put you back up into the open chat channel.
Cool, thank you very much.
On board now as Marty Uren starts his hot lap. Marty competed in all 10 races last year. He had 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. His best start was second. His best finish was second. Marty, our senior statesman, I think probably the, no offense, Marty, you're probably the only other person around here that is older than I am. But a very knowledgeable driver. Knows his stuff and is there being a threat at every race.
He is, and this season he's teamed up with Mike Greatrix, my former GT2 partner, who opted to dedicate his time this season to GT1. And good on Mike for being paired up with Marty Uren. Certainly hope that he gets an opportunity to learn as much as he can. And they are racing under the new team called
And Marty completely messes that corner up. That is going to cost him huge.
Yep, just caught that, Jack, and that's an unfortunate happening at this point. Marty was certainly on a hot lap there, and don't know how bad it's going to be, but we're going to see here as he comes up to the second split.
Oh, that's going to cost him a second or a second and a half, and he's off into the grass. You know, it is sometimes so hard when you, miss a corner to collect yourself and get it all back together again. Yeah, that puts him 2.5 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, that hurt him. That hurt him bad. And again, it just goes to what we were speaking about earlier. Oh, he spins it just a little bit into the chicane, but it's really hard to put down a really good fast lap. All you get is one crack at it, and you're fighting with yourself because you know that all you have is one opportunity.
Yep, the pressure can get to you, and as Brad Maris has mentioned many, many times, and Brad is one of our instructors here, our chief instructor. Driving over your head is not going to make you any quicker.
It certainly isn't, and I think one of the most important lessons that I've learned from Brad is learning to drive the car as quick as I can, but as comfortably, where in my comfort zone, and never trying to drive above that. So that lends credence to what you were just saying.
Yeah, not that we were saying Marty's driving over his head. No, I didn't mean that at all. But they push. Sometimes trying to drive faster, you're actually driving slower.
Yep. So Salem Montgomery Jr. out on the track right now, coming into the hairpin.
Yes, and Salem is teamed up with one of our slower drivers at NAGP. Who would he be with this year? Oh, that Alex White character.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean
that
Alex White guy? Yeah.
Only ribbon, Alex.
Yeah, that's the guy.
This is a great opportunity.
The guy that doesn't like to get out of your way.
Yeah, this is the great opportunity for Salem, to pick up more tips from one of the fastest drivers anywhere.
2.4 seconds off the pace as he comes now into the chicane complex.
Well, he saved that because he almost had a cut there.
A 157.4 for P16. The things are starting to heat up now.
And starting his hot lap is your buddy and mine, Mikey Greatrix.
Yep, Mike Greatrix, one half of Skidmark Racing. Racing out of Ontario, correct?
Absolutely. His home track would be Mosport. And you can find Mikey up at Mosport quite often during the summer. Mikey in the Ferrari F40.
One of the ugliest Ferraris, but that's just my opinion. Nonetheless, a very fast car around here in GT1 racing.
I don't really find the car objectionable at all. I like the car. You know, looks-wise. Hey, he's putting in a half-decent lap. He's 1.6 off the pole. So, not too shabby a lap for Mike. He takes it just a little wide there.
No, not at all. I'm sure he's got to be very focused in white-knuckle racing around this circuit at Suzuka, Japan.
Just feathering
Very
the
nicely
throttle.
done through the spoon curve.
Yep, feathering that throttle.
And you know what? Sometimes slower is faster.
Whoa, hang on, Mikey.
Doesn't lose too much time through that dog leg. And he holds it together for the chicane. .158.3, and he will be provisionally starting in P18.
And coming around to start his hot lap, Brian Mongrain, one half of BS Racing. Now, hey, folks, Brian, Steve, Mongrain, BS Racing. Okay, so there's nothing nefarious going on there with this team name here.
Not at all.
Although I was sure there was a couple of tongues in cheek when they put that one together.
Certainly, no doubt. But we've seen Brian these last couple of seasons around racing GT1 and GT2 as well.
I am not really familiar with his brother, to be perfectly honest with you, but...
yeah, nor am I.
In fact, my eyes aren't the greatest, but I don't think we had Brian out last season for GT1. So, welcome back.
Certainly, and BS Motorsport Racing was making an attempt at running in the GT2, running on the GT2 circuit this season for season 22, but unforeseen work schedule changes forced them to focus their efforts on GT1 racing.
Well, we welcome you to GT1 Thursday nights. The fields are growing.
Brian putting in a really good run, just under a second. Just a little under a second behind pole time.
And not too shabby coming out of the chicane.
Ooh, not bad. P4 with just a little over a second from pole.
Yeah, he came out of that chicane in really good shape, was able to get the power down. On track now with Bjorn Heyman. Welcome back, Bjorn. Good to have you back. Known on the forum as Trickster. And, geez, it'd be good to see if he can come back to the form he used to carry around here.
Yeah, we have several racers that have made a return here to NAGP, and it's good to see them back.
Bjorn has got he's got 103 GT1 all-time starts in, 7 top 10s, best start is second, and his best finish is 7th. So Bjorn, a real competitor.
Driving the Koenigsegg GT1 car.
Well, a great downforce car, so it should do really well in the technical bits. Really close there on that corner.
Cooks it just a little bit on the entry into the hairpin turn. Has to apply brakes and back off the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, and that costs you on the exit. Little weavy going through that last combination.
Yep, that's certainly going to put him down now in the second split. Oh, just almost 2 seconds puts him down. .132 provisionally puts him in P13.
And coming around to start his hot lap, our boy in blue, Ian Jolicoeur, in the Nissan.
It's going to be interesting to see how Ian fares with the Nissan, and if he's got any different setup from Mr. Waffen, whom we saw do his hot lap a little earlier.
Well, Ian's schedule is, working on the force is probably a little to be desired. He comes as much as he can. He doesn't seem too concerned about setup, but Ian has got 77 all-time GT1 starts. He has 2 wins, 23 top 5s, 45 top 10s. So this guy knows how to make his way to the front of the pack.
That and his record speaks volumes of his level of competitiveness. So great competitor in Ian Jolicoeur.
And he's running a tidy lap here.
That he is. We're going to have to see what his time is on the second split here. It takes a little bit wide on the entry into the spoon curve, but let's see what his exit is like.
About a second off the pace there. A little bit of a tail waggle as he tried to get the power down.
Still not going to be too bad a lap. He's going to come across with a 155.7. It'll provisionally put him in P7.
Now out on track, Andre Prado in the Viper, one half of Anger Racing, along with Brad Maris. And this is going to be a team to watch this year, although there has been some talk about their car selection.
There has been, but I will tell you this, the pairing of these two together, this is a formidable team. Certainly, I don't doubt that some of the other teams that have enlisted in GT1 racing for season 22 are going to have to gauge their performance against that of Andres Prado and Brad Maris, because these two are fully capable of running away with it all.
Yeah, two dynamic drivers. These guys are great to watch.
They are, and you know what? It's like we say about most of our other fast guys. There isn't much that they cannot drive around these parts here.
Yeah, he's just over a half a second off the pace so far. But maybe as we talked to Alex White, maybe the heat is going to be a big factor here late in the race.
Yeah, that very could well be. It has held at 113 degrees Fahrenheit. That's our track temperature.
Wow.
Our ambient temperature, however, has crept up to 90. And that is going to certainly affect the performance of the engines in these cars.
Well, he is about 3/4 of a second off the pace. Whoa, really working to get the power down there.
He must be pulling on that steering wheel really hard. But it looks like he's still going to put in a halfway decent lap with a 155.259. That'll provisionally put him in P5.
Out on track now, John Sportelli, the other half of Ralph Sport Racing. And here's another one of my favorite drivers out here is John Sportelli.
Yeah, I like John Sportelli a lot too. He certainly loves the Ferraris. Season before last, so in season 20, he was driving around in the 550 Maranello, and he was very fast in that car. He's driving the 575 this season, and watching him out on track earlier, it looks like he did not skip a beat driving the older Ferrari to the newer. He was just as quick, so got to keep an eye on John Sportelli as he comes up to the first split right now. About 3/4 of a second off the pole pace.
Nice and tidy going through that hairpin, though. And well done through that last complex of corners there. I thought he carried the speed really well. We'll find out, though. Slipping a little bit.
Now 1.2 seconds off the pace, but again, the chicane sometimes can afford you to make up just a little bit of time. Oh, he cuts that close as he comes around onto the front straight. A 156.075 will put John Sportelli in P11.
And out on track now, David Canavan back with us. David had some time off for some real-life work issues, but has managed to come back this season. Made comment that the competition has really stiffened, even in the short couple of seasons he's missed. But a great fast competitor racing out of Northern Ireland.
Yep, heard him make that comment several times. But he is driving the GT1 Lamborghini Murcielago. And I gotta tell you, Jack, I love this car. I have a ton of setups for this car, and one that works really well at this circuit in all temperatures.
Well, it looks like he's got one that works pretty well too. He's only about a half second off the pace here.
Yeah. Loses traction a little bit coming out of the hairpin, but not much. Gets on it right away. Into the spoon curve, 13 and 14, turns 13 and 14.
Yeah, David having a decent lap. I think he's going to have a decent time here.
A 155.4 for P6.
And he might not be too happy with it, but that is a great place to start the race. Out on track now. The White Lightning, Alex White, in the Celine.
Driving the SR7 GT1 car. This is one of the highly favored cars of most of the drivers here in the GT1 league.
Yes, there was lots of moaning and groaning when Alex chose this car. But the luck of the draft went his way.
It certainly did. Axis of Awesome got the first pick in the draft. This particular car is sponsored by Michelin Tires.
Whoa!
To be highly
way,
coveted.
way off track there. And again. But, oh boy.
Well, but it's no surprise and no wonder there. He's still 200ths of a second up on the pole pace.
You know, this guy in the grass, in the gravel, never lifts his foot once, and still comes out smelling like roses. Unbelievable. Alex, another one of our late night drivers driving out of Scotland.
What has it got to be about 2:30 over there, 2:20 in the morning?
Yeah, extremely late for these guys, but Alex is way over a quarter of a second up so far. So, whoa, big bobbles.
Didn't seem to affect him too much as he came through that chicane like a bat out of hell.
You know, I have no idea where this guy gets his talent from.
This is Paul.
Oh, man.
Yep, with a 153. Very nicely done, Alex.
Unbelievable. You know, I think he was hanging on to the seat of his pants more than a couple of times during that lap.
No doubt. I mean, if ever you've seen anybody driving on the edge, I think we just saw the perfect example of what that looks like.
Out on track now with Brad Maris, our chief driving instructor. And there's not much I can say about Brad other than, guys, if you need help, PM Brad. He'll help you out. He'll get you going faster. Maybe not as fast as he is, but there isn't many drivers that are.
Yeah, Brad Maris, a wealth of knowledge, and the other half of the Monday night GT2 broadcasting team. These guys, he and Al Merriman do a phenomenal job every Monday night. Certainly want to send our thanks for all that they do for the league and making it as robust as they do. Certainly, Brad's commentary is very insightful. Unfortunately, I get to see them after the fact, so I can't take the advice beforehand. But there's so many times where I kick myself for not having gone into Brad's channel previously and saying, "Hey, what do you recommend for the race?" But I hear it on the broadcast afterwards. So, but certainly something I'm going to be practicing this season.
You know, any of you guys who haven't been to any of one of Brad's schools, you really have to partake, because this guy is one of the best analysts. He can tell you in a matter of a couple of laps exactly what you need to do to improve. Great guy. Let's see how he's going to finish up here. I think he's going to have a decent lap going.
Yeah, a fairly decent lap. Finishes with a 155.2. Provisionally puts him in P5.
Well, we're on to our last qualifier, Ryan Schleif.
Yeah, if you folks that have been watching us for some time remember Ryan Schleif late last season, started to show some bursts of speed and driving genius around some of the tracks.
Yeah, Ryan participated in 9 races last season. He had 2 top 10s. His best start was first, so he captured the pole once, and his best finish was 8th. So now that he's got a season under his belt, we can bet we're going to see Ryan up at the front and staying up at the front.
No doubt. I wouldn't doubt it at all. It's early in the season, so they may not have gotten fully a handle on this Corvette C5. This is one of the older cars in the pack, but I'm sure that we're going to see some great things coming from Ryan Schleif this season.
Well, he's only about 3/4 of a second off pole position right now.
Right, and if you take a look at the times up towards the top, that's gonna, if he can hold it together, that's going to put him in a really good position for the qualifying race that is going to follow the Super Pole qualifying here tonight at NAGP TV.
Yes, we've got a 30-minute qualifying race. Of course, the top 2 positions are locked in for next week's 3-hour feature.
Took the dog leg really nice. I think he lost just a little bit of time there, but very smooth nonetheless. Just a good chicane, all right. I see a good lap time happening here. A 1:55.124 will put Schleif in P5.
Well, there you go. We've got a couple of our newer drivers. I mean, they've both been around for a season or so, but John Ludden in P2, Ryan Schleif in P5, but Alex White in first, Aaron Parsons in third. So Aaron went out and laid it down right near the front of the qualifiers, and boy, oh boy, it took all the way to the end of the qualifying session to get somebody to beat his time.
Yep, that it did. And let's get some words in with Mr. Alex White. Alex.
Hello.
Hey, congratulations on pole. Very, very nice run.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of lost it a bit in 130R. I completely screwed it up. But the rest of the lap was decent enough.
Well, I gotta tell you, Alex, if you don't know, you have set a new track record here at NAGP for this circuit. Fastest previously was a 154 flat, and you took it up a notch to 153.88.
Excellent. That's not bad.
Not bad. I'd say that's pretty great, actually. So,
Yeah. What was I trying to say? Yeah, at the 130R, like, turned in, nothing happened, so I had to shift down to 4th and lost an absolute ton of time. So,
yeah, well,
there's room for improvement.
I absolutely agree with you, but I got to tell you, Alex, you had us on the seat, on the edge of our seats here. Looked like you were driving on the edge the entire time. So, yeah, when you get the opportunity and watch the race broadcast, you'll see what I'm talking about. But boy, oh boy, what a run you put in, Jack. What do you think?
Well, I can't believe it, Alex. I guess you don't know enough to lift off on the throttle, because it didn't matter if you were in the grass or in the gravel. I didn't hear you lift at all once around the whole track. I don't know how you do it, but congratulations.
Thank you. Oh yeah, the 2 sort of fast right-handers I was a bit skew with as well.
Well,
I went a bit wide and didn't turn in early enough.
It looked hairy out there, but again, you've pulled it out now. You got 30 minutes to lay it all out there. But you are locked in for the feature, and that's good for you for Monday night as well. Although you had trouble on Monday night, you're locked in for the feature as well. So there you go. You're all set. Good position to start the season. both in GT1 and GT2. Again, congratulations, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
I've also got point for pole and this one as well. So leading the championship, which isn't bad.
Yeah. Yep, not at all. Certainly you are. So you're already one up on the entire field. So again, we just want to congratulate you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back in the Thursday channel. Looks like they're getting ready to start the drivers meeting. Certainly don't want you to miss
before-
that.
Alright, is everybody in the Thursday channel? There's nobody in the Saturday channel.
No, everybody's in the Thursday, so we'll certainly be sending you right back up there with everybody else.
Drivers
Cool,
meeting.
no worries, thank you.
Well, we'll just take this little opportunity. You can order your NAGP T-shirt through NAGP. That's $20, and Big Al's going to ship them anywhere in the planet. And another thing, keep in mind, NAGP is totally supported by donations. It is a not-for-profit organization, so donate, keep the league healthy, and it'll give you a great place to spend your sim racing time. Also, do not forget NAGP TV Mondays and Thursdays. Join Al and Brad for All the Action Monday, and you can catch yours truly and Kenny as Broadcast Team Racing goes out there to give it its all this year. So join us here at NAGP TV.
Very nicely put, Jack. Certainly. And the proof in what we do here comes through in our broadcast as well as the quality of racing. So, as Jack had said, we're dependent on your donations, but we'd certainly like to see some of you folks come out, some new faces, and join us. Great racing from front to back, week after week.
Yeah, the fields are monster huge here. Oh, geez, what do we got? We got Sergio Calderon and Bjorn Hemmen. They must have gave the two of them cut penalties. So the admins were watching everybody. So they must have got a cut and are going to start at the back of the pack.
Oh, wow. Yep, it certainly seems that way.
Well, we did see Sergio. I think he actually had two cuts. But, hey, if you're not trying, you're not trying hard enough. So they were giving it all and just caught a little too much. And nothing slips by these guys.
Nope, nothing at all. And then again, you have the whole world watching you here at NAGP.
Yep, thousands of viewers are tuning in from all over the planet to watch this quality show that these drivers put on for us. And, boy, what have we got here? We're going to have 34 drivers tonight. Oh, Jared Keene has just joined in.
No, I think we are actually going to end up with 36 drivers.
You are correct. Boy, this is one of the largest fields I think we've had out in GT1.
Yeah, I have to agree, Jack. I know that with the few seasons that I have raced here, I think the most that I saw on a GT1 night was anywhere from 25 to 26. So to see about 10 more drivers is certainly good.
Yes, we're definitely catching the attention of the sim racing world now with fields this huge, and this is what everybody wants. I mean, there is going to be great racing from front to back here, as we can see in the quali times. I mean, the 57s, 58s, 56s, lots of drivers in there.
Absolutely. And just a quick update, I believe that Andres Preto had dropped during the quali session. I don't know what that does for his qualifying time because he did put in a solid run. So I do not know if having dropped during the qualifying session will put him to the back of the pack, or if the gurus up top will be able to slot him into his qualified position.
Ouch. That is going to cost me, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Andre was in about 7th position or in around there anyway. I know he was pretty much there at the top 10 anyhow, so that is actually going to hurt Andre. I mean, he's only got, 26 spots to recover.
That's a lot. And in 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're only going to have, I'm not sure, I haven't done the calculation. Sorry, folks, maybe 16 laps, 17 laps to do this in.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lot at all. I mean, we know that Andres is fully capable of moving up quite a few positions here. Just how many we don't know, so we'll just have to wait and see. So we're going to be switching over to warm-up here any moment now. We know that they've adjourned the drivers' meeting, and just waiting for the sessions to flip.
Yeah, they're not going to, I know, they're probably going to practice their starts more than anything else during this warm-up. No pit stops tonight, folks. 30-minute dash for the cash.
"30 minutes of mayhem."
But everybody is piling out on the track.
Yeah, you see that too, huh?
So,
Some starting.
what do you predict tonight, Ken?
Well, tonight's going to be hard. I believe that with the setup and the way that Alex White was driving, if he gets the whole shot, say goodnight. It's over. He's going to check out. So that's probably my prediction. Again, depending on whether or not he gets the whole shot tonight, he'll probably just run away.
I don't know. Aaron came out with such a clean lap early. We might, you might want to, put that down to a little bit of, he came out, the track was cool. But it was such a smooth lap that, you know what, my money's going on Mr. Parsons tonight.
Well, another person that we can't rule out here is Mr. John Ludden. He's starting right behind Alex White. Now, John Ludden has proven himself to be a fast qualifier, and we've seen him lose it just a little bit during the races. But I think that season 22 is going to turn around for John, and especially he's driving one of the very, very fastest cars that we have. High downforce is the Pagani Zonda R vehicle, and he seems quite comfortable in it. And watching him out in practice earlier, he had more than 10 laps of fuel, and as the fuel wore off, he just kept on getting faster and faster and faster. So if he can hang in there with Alex, I think he may give Alex White a run for his money tonight, this 30-minute sprint.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because, you know what, I wish all the drivers the best, but I would not want to have the Wonder from Down Under on my tailpipe, even if it is only going to be a short 30 minutes, because one little bobble and Parsons is going to pounce.
Oh, absolutely, and not to sell anyone short. David Poole starting in 4th, another one of our very consistently fast drivers around here at NEGP GT1.
Yep,
we saw a spectacular finish to the end of the season last year with involving David Poole.
Yeah, David Poole and Rich Roman. There's another one. Rich didn't probably qualify quite as well as he wanted to, but boy, we can't count this guy out. He was in the hunt for the championship. He had 3 wins last year, which was the same as Andre. So Rich is going to be a tough competitor again this year. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're about winding down warm-up right now. There's about 2 minutes left. Jack, if it is okay with you, I'd like to go to commercial break on my end.
Absolutely, Ken. So, just a recap. We're at Suzuka. Super Pole qualifying is over, and now the Super Pole race is going to begin. We've got 18 turns. Going to be very, very interesting here, in the early going. Going to be all bunched up. They're probably going to be bunched up in around the hairpin, 10 and 11. We know that's going to happen. And down in 16-17, the Casino Triangle, 16-17-18. That chicane is going to be all sorts of busy. First turn, going to be really interesting to see how these guys handle the first turn. And those S's, they are so much fun to drive. So lots of action going to be happening here tonight. Big field for our opening race. This is just great to see. Great to see Jared could make it out. He missed the Super Bowl qualifying, but great to see he's got himself into the pits, into the car. He got the fire suit all tucked up and ready to race.
And we are back, Jack.
Yes, Ken. They're just tearing around the track like madmen right now.
Yeah, we see that on our end over here. Was just on board with David Poole. He takes it a little bit wide there off track, but again, this is just warm-up, folks. Race will be starting in about 1 minute.
Now, I wonder if this, Alex White there in the Celine, I wonder if his secret launch sequence is going to work on the Celine or not this season.
Well, I don't know. That Celine is a very powerful car, and our track temperature right now is 101. So this is what we can expect for the race. As we're using static weather for the race, what we finished warm-up with will be in the race. So 101 track temperature and 81 ambient, so it's going to make for a bit of a difficult start for some of these guys.
Well, we did hear Alex say that, he may end up having to go to a harder compound on the tires, both for qualifying and probably for the race. But 30 minutes, these guys are going to let it all hang out.
I'd have to agree with you, and here we go. We're now moving over to the race session, so if you want to go ahead and take us through the running order.
Starting on the pole, Alex White, John Ludden in second, Aaron Parsons in third, David Poole in fourth, and Ryan Schleif in fifth.
Brad Maris will start sixth, Brian Mongrain seventh, David Canavan in eighth, Andrew Werner in ninth, and Chris Moses rounds out your top 10.
Ian Jolicoeur in 11, Rich Roman in 12th, Al Merriman in 13th, John Sportelli in 14th, and Juan Monroy in 15th.
John Houston will start 16th, Gregory Myers 17th, John Wathen in P18, Marty Uren 19th, and Marco Conti in 20th.
Krishna Khalili in 21st, Johnny McIntyre in 22nd, Salem Montgomery in 23rd, Steve Mongrain in 24th, and Mikey Graytrix in 25th.
Gup Douglas will start 26th, John Cup in 5th, 27, Andres Cole in 28, Paul Hall in 29, and Lou Masciarelli in 30.
Sam Ralph is starting in 31st, David Rowley in 32nd, Andre Prado in 33rd, and he shouldn't be there but had a drop connection. 34th is going to be Jared Keane, 35 Sergio Calderon, and rounding them out, Bjorn Heyman in 36.
Excellent, with about 39 seconds before the green flag drops.
So, as I said, we got about 17 minutes to go. Or 17 laps to go. What a beautiful track this is.
This certainly is. This track originally from GP4, Grand Prix 4, for those that
And Alex White is away, and boy, jumping into second place is Aaron Parsons. Ludden slots into third with Brad Maris in fourth. David Pohl in 5th, followed closely by Ryan Schleif. David Canavan in 7th. Chris Moses 8th. Brian Mongray 9th. And Rich Roman in 10th. So, Ken, it looks like they got away fairly clean.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, P's positions 1 through 14 running right there with each other.
Well, not just 1 through 14. I am just cycled my way through the pack. Andrew Werner's got a little bit of damage. Mikey Ratrix at the very end. But, boy, they seem to get away pretty clean. White, Parsons, Ludden.
Oh, and we've had several cars lock up. It looks like they may be dropping out, but yeah, some of our front runners have dropped way back in the field.
Wow, we've got
Andrew Werner in
go ahead.
34th. Yeah, wow, this was a.
Yep, we've got them all packed up here at the front, too. We got Pohl in 5th, followed by Schleif. Schleif's having a look on the inside there. As they all bunch up into the chicane for the first time around.
Yep, folks, this 30-minute race is probably where you see some of the most aggressive driving these drivers have ever had to endure, simply because it is a 30-minute, as Jack says, a 30-minute dash for the cash. Those outside of P's 1 and 2, this race will determine their starting position for next week's feature 3-hour race right here at Suzuka, Japan.
Well, that first lap chicane was a bit of a mess farther back in the pack there, Ken. White with a little bit of a bobble. Aaron Parsons trying to... White all messy going under the bridge, and Parsons trying to hunt him down. And Ludden hanging on to the tailpipe of Parsons. But I might make mention, Andre Prado already after the first lap is up to 21st.
Wow.
So either he was the bowling ball at the bowling alley. 20th. 1.5 laps. 15 positions. What the heck did he do?
I think he has an F function on that shifter and he can fly. Oh, but he spins it. Spins it at the spoon curve.
Who? Andre?
Yeah, wow. Drops him back down to about 30th. 32nd.
Well, we've got all sorts of action up the front. 10, 11, 12. 1 through 12 is all up and tight. Rich Roman having a good look on the inside there of Brian Mongrain. Mongrain sliding that big Ford around. Canavan holding on to 8th. Chris Moses in 7th. Ryan Schleif in 6th. Pohl in 5th. Brad Maris in 4th. John Ludden in 3rd. And Parsons in white. 2 and 1. Parsons way wide out into the gravel. And that lets Ludden pull up right behind him. They are running hard here, folks.
That they are. That they are.
Brad Maris hanging
Boy,
on.
we've had some unfortunate happenings further back in the pack. Don't know what happened. Sorry that we missed it, folks. But Yeah, there must have been a ton of action going on, or a ton of mayhem going on back there. Even David Canavan slipping back to P8.
And there's some good racing there from like P4 to 10. Juan Monroy in 11th. Marty, you ran in 12th. Sportelli in 13th. And Greg Myers up to 14th. Marco Conti in 15th, followed by Andre Cole. And Salem Montgomery in 17th. Rally, who started way at the back as well, I'm thinking from a disconnect, is up to P18 now. Al Merriman in 19 and Krishna Khalili in 20. Ian Joliker has slipped back to 21st, so he must have got messed up in something. Oh, and after that, they are all bunched up. Holy jumping, are they packed up here, folks.
Yep, just looking at Liquid Lou in P22, followed closely by John Houston in P23. John Houston looking in and out as one of the Corvettes get locked up on the front straight.
So, the top three drivers here tonight so far, Alex White, Aaron Parsons, and John Ludden. Man, they are really pushing the envelope here. All three of them are slipping and sliding all over the place. Onto the aprons, onto the grass, into the gravel. But they still seem to be pulling away from the pack. But Alex White is stretching his legs out. It looks like in a fairly decent manner.
Yeah, certainly no surprise there for Alex White. Like I said, if he got the whole shot, you could pretty much count them to check out on you. But again, we can't count out Aaron Parsons because Aaron's known to make some great lunges late in the race. And even though this is a short sprint race, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing Aaron trying to
Whoa,
at about the 15-minute mark.
Big bobble going through the chicane there for Aaron. Looked like Ludden had to check up just a little bit, or else he would have been all over for an inside pass at the end of the straightaway.
Tons of sparks coming out of Aaron Parsons' car as he goes down the front sweeper. He's got that car sitting low.
Salem Montgomery off into the gravel. He's going to lose a spot or two there. That allows Big Al Merriman up the back of him. Krishna Khalili in 20th. Ian Joliker back in 21st. Ian's car beat up on both front quarters. Lou Masciarelli in 22nd. Sam Rolfe in 23rd. John Houston 24th. Johnny Mack in 25th. Wathen in 26th. Paul Hall back to 27th. Cuppet in 28th. Andre Prado not having much fun out there tonight in 29th position.
No, I would imagine not. And his car's beat to pieces on both sides.
Bjorn Heyman in 30th. Werner in 31st. Sergio Calderon in 32nd. Jared Keane in 33rd. And Gup Douglas hunting Jared down.
Steve Mongrain having to come into the pits, I would assume, for some repairs, as his car seemed to be beat to pieces as well.
He might have suffered a puncture if he's in there for repairs already. So, the White Lightning and the Wonder from Down Under, 1-2. And this is a familiar spot for Alex to be in.
Yeah, nothing but clean air and clean track in front of him as he slides the tail end of that saline around.
You know, those 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, you've got White, Parsons, Ludden, and Maris. all sort of spaced out. Then you've got David Pohl in the Aston Martin, followed by Chris Moses and David Canavan. Well, there are three guys that are not unfamiliar running nose to tail with each other.
Yep, you could call them some of our veterans around here.
They sure are. Rich Roman in P8. Followed by Brian Mongrain and Juan Monroy in 10th and Marty Uren in 11th. They're in tight together with Ryan Schleif in 12th, hunting them down.
Yeah, and Sportelli not too far behind them, so with a bit to go yet.
Yeah.
We can see some changing of the guards here.
Indeed, we might. Oh, poor old Greg Myers.
On lap 5.
Greg must have got caught up in something. That front end of his McLaren is smashed to bits as well.
Oh, no. That's just the new V version.
It is the scoop version. Almost looks like a snowplow out there. On board with David Rowley. In through the chicane with David Rowley.
Salem just behind him.
Right in behind is Salem Montgomery. Not quite close enough.
Merriman.
Yeah. Big Al will be pressing that one home. You know Big Al's going to be wanting to start in the top 15 here at next week for sure. So a little farther back, we got 21, Lou Masciarelli, John Houston in 22, and John Watson in 23. A good three-way battle we got going here.
Yep, very good three-way battle is John Watson sliding his car into the turns.
Well, good on them. They look like they're having fun out there. And McIntyre in behind him. And Andre Prado now up to 25th again.
Yeah. I'd assume that Prado may want to position himself as best as he can with a result in this 30-minute qualifier, simply because even though it is a 3-hour feature race next week, one thing that our fast guys really don't want to do is have to burden themselves with the advent of having to make up so many positions, which can be quite burdensome to any racer. But looks like he's going to try and improve as best as he can for next week's feature race.
Well, he's already on the inside of Johnny McIntyre on the main straight, so he's just picked up another spot here.
I figure with a top 20 starting position, he might be able to get into the points in next week's race.
Oh, he's a threat for points no matter where he starts. Ian Joliker has slipped all the way back down to 32nd. Ian, I don't know what's going on there. Now, Mikey Greatrix is down at 34th, but you know, his car looks relatively immaculate.
he had to have. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Mikey's times. Nope, he pitted. He pitted last lap and got repairs done.
Boy, they were pretty fast on getting that bodywork fixed up. So back out in front, we got Alex 1 in P1, Parsons in 2, John Ludden in 3, and you know what? I think they have settled into this, and boy, it's going to take a miracle, but this is probably the way it's going to end up. I mean, these guys have got pace on everybody.
When you figure it, Alex White, John Ludden, they locked in their positions at the end of Super Bowl, so this is a dry run for them, if you will, for what's to come next week.
Yeah. The 3 guys you're looking at right now and are going to be the 3 guys at the front of the pack for the start of the first race in season 22. Now, Brad Maris is starting to come under pressure from David Pohl. And Chris Moses.
Got a heated battle. Yep. Heated battle forming between Moses and Canavan.
Yes, sir. I'm on board right now with David Canavan.
Looks like the Ferrari's got a little bit more on the top end than the Lambo does.
Yep, David's going to want to tuck in as close as he can, but that Ferrari just seems to walk away there.
Yeah, and I believe I heard Moses talking earlier this week about his wing settings, and I believe that he may be even running something around a 3 or 4, if not a 2, on the wing.
Yeah, with the way he drives the car, that wouldn't surprise me.
And that's why we're watching him just walk away from Canavan whenever Canavan gains the advantage of tucking in behind him. Up comes a straight or a piece of track long enough for Moses to stretch the legs of the 550 Maranello.
Yeah, and that Ferrari seems pretty tidy through these S's too.
Yeah, good rhythm.
But Canavan closing on the S's. Wow, they're in tight together. Chris a little wide there. Canavan having a little look on the inside.
Hard to make it stick.
Chris will probably want to turn his mirror away. So, just over to the leaderboard. Lap 9. Got about 5 more to go. So,
Alex White just cruising.
But hey,
John
we
Ludden
missed
got
it.
past
We missed
Aaron
it.
Parsons.
Yes, he did. We missed that. Sorry, guys. And you know what? Parsons is now coming under pressure.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but this four-way battle for 4th has caught up to Mr. Parsons.
It sure has. Boy, oh boy, we've got Aaron Parsons, Brad Maris, David Pohl, Chris Moses, and, Canavan has had problems because he has dropped down to 8th position now. Rich Roman has gotten by Canavan, so I don't know what's happened with David Canavan.
I might have put a tire off.
Must have.
Caught some of the grass or the kitty litter.
Whoa, pull with a big slide.
Parsons is at a bit of a disadvantage because he's got some heavy aero damage to the right front of his car. Not sure if that was a result of maybe the battle he was having with John Ludden.
Well, Poole is now coming under all sorts of pressure from Chris Moses. On board with Chris. So, Kenny, why don't you run them down for the folks?
Yep, certainly will do that. Currently in P1, Alex White. P2, John Ludden. Aaron Parsons currently running third. Brad Maris in fourth. David Poole in fifth.
Chris Moses in sixth. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry about that.
No.
Chris Moses in sixth. Rich Roman seventh. David Canavan in eighth. Juan Monroy up to ninth. And John Sportelli rounding out your top 10.
And Schleif is really pushing on Sportelli now. Marty Uren in 12th. Brian Mongrain in 13th. Greg Myers in 14th. David Rowley up to 15th, and he started right at the back of the pack. Salem Montgomery is 16. Andre Cole 17. Al Merriman 18. Mark O'Connor in 19. And John Houston in 20. Wow, there's a battle going on back there.
Yep, I am there with you, and it looks like, wow, Andres Prado, Sam Rolfe, all battling up there.
Yep, you've got Houston, Prado, Rolfe, and I bet you that is Joliker. Oh, it might be Waffen.
It's Jolicoeur, but Jolicoeur is one lap down right now.
Wow. Well, you sure wouldn't know it by the way he's hanging on to those guys. Sam Rolfe having a good run here.
Yeah, fairly decent. 22nd right now.
You know, irregardless of the position, he is hanging on to the back of Prado. Anytime you can hang on to the back of that guy. Now, Prado looks... Geez, we had Houston take that a little wide, and Prado is all over his bumper now. It almost looks like we might have some warping going on out there. Lou Mascherelli having a bit of a battle with Bjorn Heyman as Bjorn gets up on his tailpipe. Bjorn trying to get a run on him.
Yeah, there may be an issue with the way the server is rendering the positions right now because they're all over the place.
Lou all sloppy through the chicane, but Bjorn not able to take advantage of it. So we're showing, here's what we're showing. We're showing McIntyre in 25th, Watson in 26th, Calderon in 27th, Andrew Werner in 28th, Douglas on Werner's tailpipe, Jared Keane in 30th, Cuppet in 31st, and I'm showing Jolicoeur in 32nd, Mongrain in 33rd, yep. Ray Trix in 34th. Oh, and it looks like we might have had Lou Mascherelli off.
Jared Keane took it off.
Oh, was that Jared?
That was Jared Keane. Yep, that was Jared Keane. He took it off into the grass.
Well, it is again.
But back up front, back up front, Moses, Maris, and Parsons all very close together, battling it out, trying for that third spot. I mean, White and Ludden have pretty much walked away. Brad Maris trying to take a look on the inside of Aaron Parsons as they come down into turn 1.
Yeah, Aaron with that a little bit of aero damage there is probably not helping him out. And Moses looks like he is all over the back of Maris now.
Just trying to find a way through.
Yeah, and
Moses slides it wide, and Maris keeps it in tight.
gonna be hard to pass Brad, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, Brad takes the fast line away from everybody.
Rich Roman and David Canavan. Boy, oh boy, there is some great action here. All the way from 2 to 8.
And even a little further back, because there's a three-way battle going on for the 10th spot between Sportelli, Schleif, and Uren. They are right there.
Just caught up with
tail.
you. Yep, everybody wanting in that top 10 bracket. Boy, oh boy, that chicane is causing the guys all sorts of fits. Marty really messy going through that one, and that cost him a lot of time, giving a little bit of breathing gap to Ryan Schleif. But Ryan,
there's the checkered flag.
Oh, sorry. So White, John Ludden, Aaron Parsons hanging on for third. Maris in fourth. Moses in fifth. Pohl in sixth. Roman in seventh. Canavan in eighth. Juan Monroy in ninth. And Sportelli in 10. But they're still racing for that position there. And it looks like Schleif has gotten around him. Or no, Juan Monroy has gotten around him. Man, I can't keep track of these guys here. Schleif has gotten around Sportelli. So Sportelli is going to come in 10th or 11th. Marty, you're in 12th. Brian Mongrain in 13th. Raleigh in 14th. Myers is 15th. Al Merriman in 16th. Cole in 17th. Marco Connie in 18th. Houston in 19th. Sam Rolfe in 20th. Lou Mascherelli in 21st. Johnny McIntyre in 22nd. Wathen in 23rd. Calderon in 24th. Werner in 25th. Gup Douglas 26th. Jared Keane in 27th. Coveted Parkton in 28th. Bjorn Hemmen in 29th. And Joliker in 30th. Mongrain in 31. Great Tricks 32. Gresham Khalili 33. Well, you called it there.
That about sums it up. Yep. Alex White ran away with the win. So no surprise there, really.
No, none at all. Boy, if that's any indication, these guys are going to be struggling for 3 hours.
Alex, Ken, and Jack, congratulations again.
Thank you, guys. That was fun.
I think you'll see on the broadcast Jack asking me what I thought, and I just said that if Alex got the whole shot, it's over. It's a 30-minute race.
Yeah, I had to push a bit while Izzo was behind me. I don't know what happened to him. He must have spun or something. But yeah, after Izzo spun, I just backed off a bit.
Good for you. Great race. It was great watching you. There was a competition, close racing from literally from front to back, and we just enjoyed broadcasting. We couldn't catch everything, but certainly a great win on your part. Question for our feature race next week. Any early predictions on what your strategy might be?
Maybe. There's...
Without giving away the farm.
Yeah, depending on the weather, it'll be like my tires in this race, my rear ones got really quite hot. So I think if it's any hotter during the feature race, then it's gonna have to be hard. Because like towards the end, they were very, very sort of squirmy coming out of the hairpin, and it was losing time.
Right. I see. Well, folks, Alex White, your winner of tonight's sprint race and pole sitter for next week's Suzuka Japan 3-hour feature race here at NAGP.
3 hours. That's going to be excellent fun.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be excellent fun for you guys.
Good win, Alex. And we're going to catch up with you next. Well, actually, we'll see you next Monday at Monday night's GT2 races. I know you'll do great there as well. But there you go. You have notched your first one. You got out in front and hung on to it all the way through to the end. And good luck next Thursday.
Thank you very much. I look forward to watching the broadcast. It's usually excellent.
Well, I don't know how excellent it is, but we try hard up here. Ken and I are trying to do our best. So for NAGP TV, we're going to sign off now, folks. And join us Monday nights at 9 o'clock and Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
Cheers, guys.